Adaptation. The process of adapting to something. Modification. Adjustment. Habituation. The documentary described the adaptation of desert species to hot weather conditions. Hypothesis. Proposed explanation for a phenomenon. Premise. Supposition. Assumption. Many experts reject the hypothesis about unemployment contributes to crime. Experiment. Test done in order to learn something. Analysis. Investigation. Assessment. The scientists conducted an experiment on rats to decide if the new drug is safe for people. Germination. The process of seed starting to grow. Sprouting. Maturation. Flourishing. Seed germination is a crucial process that depends on climatic conditions. Momentum. The force or speed of an object in motion. Impetus. Propulsion. Driving force. Because the basketball team has won 6 consecutive games, it has a great momentum right now. Empirical. Based on observation or experience. Pragmatic. Realistic. Applied. Empirical studies indicate that some forms of alternative medicine are really effective. Evolution. The gradual development of plants and animals. Growth. Modification. Adaptation. Religious traditionalists objected to theories of evolution being taught in schools. Genetics. Passing on traits from parents to their offspring. Heredity. Ancestry. Inheritance. Research in the field of behavioral genetics has raised many dilemmas in recent years. Depletion. Reduction in the amount or number of something. Reduction. Lessening. Exhaustion. In many countries, the depletion of renewable resources has raised concerns in recent years. Pollination. Move the pollen from one plant to another. Conception. Insemination. Breeding. In order for a plant or flower to produce seeds, pollination must occur between 2 flowers. Hygiene. Refers to maintaining the body's cleanliness. Cleanliness. Sanitation. Disinfection. Functional sanitation and good hygiene are the foundations on which healthcare is built. Aquatic. Growing or living in or upon the water. Oceanic. Maritime. Underwater. When we throw trash in the ocean, we endanger many species of aquatic life. Gravity. A force that attracts objects toward one another. Weight. Pressure. Compression. Although gravity pulls objects to the center of the Earth, this force is not present on the Moon. Offspring. Immediate descendants of a person or organism. Children. Progeny. Youngster. Most parents hope their offspring will be more successful in life than they are. Predator. An animal that hunts, kills, and eats other animals. Hunter. Killer. Animal of prey. In the wild, cats climb trees as a way to protect themselves from predators. Carnivore. Any animal that eats meat, fish, etc. Meat-eater. Wild animal. Hunter. We must do what we can to save the world's largest carnivores from extinction. Herbivore. An animal that feeds on grass and other plants. Vegetarian. Vegan. Fruitarian. The herbivore is a peaceful creature, but the omnivore is always on the move. Weathering. Dissolving of rocks and minerals on Earth's surface. Undergoing. Withstanding. Sustaining. The car had slight weathering to the paint from years of dry air and harsh sunlight. Recycling. Process of converting waste into reusable material. Reusing. Reprocessing. Converting. Recycling helps control environmental pollution by reducing the need for waste dumps. Replication. The act of copying something exactly. Duplication. Reproduction. Imitation. During the replication process, an identical cell is created from the original cell. Procedure. A particular way of doing something. Methodology. Formula. Approach. Using virtual reality, doctors can experiment with new procedures on simulated patients. Evaporation. Process of turning from a liquid into vapor. Dissipation. Fading. Vanishing. The soothing and cooling effects are caused by the evaporation of the sweat on the skin. Observation. An act of noticing or perceiving. Inspection. Examination. Study. They had keen observation and reasoning powers, apart from good analytical abilities. Metabolism. All the chemical processes in a living body. Digestion. Absorption. Consumption. We should always consume sufficient calories to keep the metabolism resilient. Inference. Opinions based on information. Conclusion. Deduction. Judgment. From looking at the criminal profile, what inference can you draw about the suspect? Wavelength. The distance between two waves of energy. Frequency. Density. Magnitude. For example, red light has a longer wavelength than green, and green than blue. Microorganisms. An organism that is microscopic, or submicroscopic. Pathogens. Bacteria. Parasites. Algae microorganisms colonize the water because of the surplus amount of nitrogen. Meteorology. Meteorology is the study of our atmosphere. Climatology. Weather science. Aerology. Meteorology students focus on the forecast of atmospheric movement and climate change. Chain reaction. A chemical reaction produces energy. Domino effect. Repercussion. Aftermath. The nuclear power immediately ignited and set off a chain reaction of explosions. Perennial. A plant that lives for several years. Enduring. Year by year. Continuing. The issue between science and art is of perennial interest to me, since my childhood. Reproduction. The act or process of producing babies. Breeding. Conception. Procreation. Genes are those tiny bits of biological information exchanged in sexual reproduction.